rats, rodents, vermin.
They are also called emergency food.
These are just some of the names and descriptions given about the beastmen known as the Qiqirn. These are not just the opinions of the people of Eorzea, but also those of adventurers who pop in and out of these lands. This has led to the Qiqirn being misunderstood, not only as a race, but as productive members of society. So now, Namue and I will pull back the curtain and show the Qiqirn for who they really are, and what we learned may surprise you.
Keep an open mind, appearances are deceiving. Heck, look at me. Your first thought when you look at me is picking me up and hugging me, isn't it?
Before we start, let's trace the series origins of the Qiqirn. They were one of many assets imported from the series during FF14's development. Specifically, the Beastmen first appeared in Final Fantasy XI. To quickly touch upon their origins in FF11, they once lived as nomads in the northern lands of Vana'diel. Many can be found living in a city within the borders of the Outer Garn Empire today. Now we begin looking at their 14 incarnation. The Qiqirn were a straight up import from FF11, and sadly they suffered a lack of foundational backstory, which has led to the misunderstandings of today. And I have to be honest, the Qiqirn themselves in FF14 did themselves zero favours in that regard.
Okay, we get the point.
The Qiqirn of Eorzea, like the humanoid races, have two distinct groups, both having evolved differently in appearance and lifestyle. The first are the standard Qiqirn we are familiar with, which reside in the Gnossia, Thanalan and the Black Shroud. The second have no naming distinction, but I'll simply call them the Wild Qiqirn, which can be found in Girobania. Appearance wise, the Qiqirn are infamously known as being rat featured. Many beastmen are compared to animals and monsters by the humanoid races, and sadly the Qiqirn grew the short straw in that respect, no pun intended. This stems from their defining features. Standard Qiqirn boast large claws on each hand, smooth fur, elongated facial features and whiskers, and their very prominent eyes. The Wild Qiqirn are differentiated by their fur, which grows into a coat or mane similar to that of a wolf or canine. They also lack whiskers, instead having a tuft of fur at the tip of their snouts. The primary reason for their comparison to rodents actually comes from their diet. If you spotted a Qiqirn while out and about, chances are you would see them snacking and nibbling on something, anything edible, even rotten meat. Qiqirn are driven by a borderline insatiable hunger, which occasionally gets them into trouble in society. They would steal food from right under a merchant's nose and eat it right in front of them. This is what gave rise to the rat-like comparison.
I smell me a rat.
Qiqirn are omnivores, and will gladly eat any plant or meat that would fill their bellies. While standard Qiqirn have never been documented doing so, Wild Qiqirn practice cannibalism. I personally documented them capturing other Wild Qiqirn with the intention of feasting upon them, much to the horror of the captured ones. Biologically, the species is relatively short-lived, with an estimated lifespan of 25 summers. It's documented in many species that those with shorter lifespans have an advanced reproductive system to allow their species to propagate. Qiqirn give birth to litters similar to rodents, birthing between 5 to 10 at a time, who will quickly grow to maturity after just a few years. Qiqirn also have sharp senses, such as their sense of smell, which allows them to easily find food or for the inventory of items. They also have a unique racial trait, specifically when it comes to sensing danger and the changes in the weather. If you visit the seafaring crews in Limsa Laminsa, they would tell you Qiqirn are quick to sense danger on the open seas. This has led to the infamous saying in seafaring circles, "When the ratman scatters, you'd best batten down the hatches." They are also quite small in stature. It's documented most would not exceed the height of a 10-year-old Hjur. That's quite an oddly specific height. Not sure why they didn't compare them to Lalafels like everyone else loves to do.
Are you insulting your own race? Or should I say belittle?
In terms of language, the Qiqirn are capable of speaking the common tongue, but in a more broken way. There is no real explanation for this, but I'd be willing to bet they have difficulty with certain pronunciations and sounds. Their naming convention is quite straightforward. Every Qiqirn we have met has its name that ends with rune. Some examples are Gegaroon, Memeroon, Gigiroon and Mimiroon. Like other beastmen, they have their own societal rule and traditional dress. For attire, they will dress themselves in whatever material is available, but can usually be seen in cheap hide, which they wear as pants covering their lower half, with a short jacket with long sleeves that cover their very long arms. This is topped with a hood to cover their face and eyes, but many will wear normal hats with pierced holes for their ears to protrude. The wild Qiqirn appear to be more advanced when it comes to clothing, dressing themselves in the hides of the creatures they hunt, and creating clothing that is much more durable and pleasing to the eye. Wild Qiqirn also appear to have scavenged equipment from the Garleans when they occupied the region, as they can be seen sporting advanced goggles which look cobbled together from their technology. Most races on Aetheris can trace their origins to specific locations. Lalafels can trace theirs to the South Sea Isles, for example. For the Qiqirn, this is still a subject of speculation. Even the Qiqirn themselves don't know. This is because they long ago made the choice to integrate and live among the other races and societies, and can no longer be traced to a land of origin. But I can speculate based upon their 11 counterparts. There are regions in the north of Eorzea we have not been able to visit. I surmise they could very well hail from the northern reaches, and migrated south as a result of multiple calamities. It's also for this reason that they have no form of government, and leadership in the species when it comes to their colonies is almost non-existent. They will instead adopt the leadership and customs of whatever society they integrate into. The one thing that has helped them flourish in this aspect is their natural gift for numbers. If you do dealings with a Qiqirn merchant, they will instantly know if you shortchange them, for they can do complex sums and math with little to no difficulty. This is why the Qiqirn can be found in such professions wherever they live, which further aided their integration into Eorzean society. Some examples are the Qiqirn merchants of Upper Lanosia, who also operate a ferry crossing connecting both sides of Bronze Lake. One such merchant moved into Poor Maid's Mill to supply the salt towns with basic needs. This is just a standard Qiqirn, however. The wild Qiqirn have not been documented living as part of Alamegan society, likely due to the Empire. In fact, the Alamegans treat the Qiqirn as hostile, as they frequently raid and pillage their farmland for crops and livestock. The Qiqirn can be found living in most of the Eorzean city-states, with the exception of Ishgard and Alamigo. Though the nation's borders have been open for years at this point, and are members of the Eorzean Alliance, you would not see a single Qiqirn on the streets of Ishgard. Perhaps the colder climate does not agree with them. And if that was indeed the case, it's possible the Qiqirn once resided in Ishgard before the calamity when the environment was much more hospitable, but migrated away when the snow started, and they realised it was never going to stop. As for Alamigo, the Empire would not have tolerated such beastmen in their midst.
Savages.
Qiqirn used to be a very common sight in Ul'dah, but 20 years before the calamity, the Sultanate issued a decree banishing all beastmen from the city proper, which included the Qiqirn. Not all of them left, however. Many were employed by the influential of Ul'dah society such as the Syndicate, and thus retained their place in Ul'dah thanks to the protection of their employers. In terms of habits and daily life, Qiqirn, both standard and wild, have a fascination with anything shiny and valuable, and will usually go to great lengths to obtain them.
Qiqirn has many sparklies. Wine and Qiqirn smells no like rat. Qiqirn smells like Qiqirn. Your mother was a hamster. Why are they all talking like this? Qiqirn has many sparklies.
It's an all-common sight around Eorzea for packs of Qiqirn to raid settlements for food, shiny goods, even ale. But despite all this, the standard Qiqirn have fully integrated into Eorzean society, and for the most part the prejudices against them have faded away, but it does rear its head every once in a while.
Remember my joke about emergency food? I wasn't joking.
It's been told in Tales of the High Seas that should a crew ever be stranded or run out of food, then the Qiqirn would be the first sacrifice of the cooking pot.
This is a rat burger.
The Qiqirn, like other races of Aetheris, have also been encountered on other reflections. On the first, they are known as the Qitari. They are physically identical to standard Qiqirn, but are much more advanced technologically and more intelligent. The Qitari were once part of the ancient Ronkan Empire, and after its fall retreated to their ancestral homelands, which would later be destroyed by the flood. They were displaced for over 100 years, until they remembered their lost legacy as subjects of Ronka, and later returned to the Ratika Greatwood in order to reclaim their legacy next to the Vai. We have not encountered Qiqirn beyond this point, however. No sights of them were seen in the Far East or in the New World. But there is still so much of our star left to explore, and chances are, upon our first venture off the edge of the known maps of the world, mayhap we may encounter merchants and vendor stalls, with a friendly Qiqirn ready to greet us to make a trade.